Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Library in Minutes, the channel where we bring you the greatest stories of literature in a way that's quick, clear, and unforgettable. Today, we're diving into one of the darkest and most chilling tragedies ever written, Macbeth by William Shakespeare. This isn't just another old play. It's a story full of witches, betrayal, blood, and madness. A tale about ambition, guilt, and the terrible price of giving in to temptation. And let me warn you, once Macbeth takes his first step down the path of blood, there's no turning back. Act 1. The Whisper of Darkness. Our story opens on a stormy heath. Three witches gather, chanting riddles and speaking of their next meeting, with a man named Macbeth. From the very first lines, Shakespeare sets the tone. In this world, fair is foul, and foul is fair. In other words, nothing is what it seems. Not far away, Macbeth and his friend Banquo fight bravely for King Duncan, defeating traitors and invaders alike. Macbeth is hailed as a hero, but fate is already waiting for him just around the corner. On their way back, they encounter the witches. Their prophecy is strange and unsettling. They greet Macbeth as Thane of Glamis, Thane of Cawdor, and then future king. Banquo, too, receives a riddle. He won't be king himself, but his descendants will rule. At first, Macbeth laughs it off until messengers arrive with shocking news. Duncan has just made him Thane of Cawdor. The first prophecy came true. Suddenly, the impossible doesn't seem so far away, but ambition has already planted its seed. And when Lady Macbeth hears the news, she waters that seed with ruthless determination. She fears her husband is too kind to seize the crown, so she begins to whisper, "Why wait for fate when you can take destiny into your own hands?" That very night, King Duncan is coming to their castle, and Lady Macbeth already has a plan. Act 2. The first murder darkness falls, and Macbeth wrestles with his conscience. He knows what Lady Macbeth wants, but he also knows the king has honored him and trusts him. The thought of murder chills him, yet ambition pulls harder. In a haunting moment, Macbeth sees a vision, a dagger floating in the air, dripping with blood, pointing toward Duncan's room. Is it a hallucination or a sign? Either way, it pushes him forward. That night, while Duncan sleeps peacefully under their roof, Macbeth strikes. The king is murdered in cold blood, but almost immediately guilt crashes down on him. He's shaking, horrified, unable even to plant the daggers on the guards as planned. It's Lady Macbeth, cold, fearless, merciless, who takes the bloody weapons and smears the guards with guilt. At dawn, Macduff arrives and discovers the corpse. Panic spreads through the castle. Macbeth pretends to be furious and kills the guards before they can speak. Duncan's sons, Malcolm and Donalbain, realize they're next, so they flee. Their escape makes them look guilty, and with them gone, Macbeth is crowned king. But little does he know, wearing the crown will be far heavier than he ever imagined. Act 3. Ghosts of Guilt. Macbeth has the throne, but peace? Not even close. The witch's prophecy haunts him. Banquo's descendants are supposed to inherit the crown. Did he murder Duncan only to hand the kingdom to his friend's bloodline? That thought drives him mad. So he hires assassins to ambush Banquo and his son Fleance. Banquo is killed, but Fleance escapes into the night, and with that, Macbeth's paranoia grows like wildfire. During a royal banquet, just as he tries to play the gracious king, Macbeth freezes. He sees Banquo's ghost sitting at the table, pale, bloody, staring at him. No one else can see it, and his horrified outbursts leave the guests in shock. Lady Macbeth tries to cover for him, but everyone senses it. Their king is unraveling. The throne is his, but the crown burns on his head. Act 4. The Web of Prophecies. Terrified of losing power, Macbeth returns to the witches. He demands answers, and they give him three strange visions. A helmeted head warns him to beware of Macduff. A bloody child says, "No man born of a woman shall harm Macbeth." A crowned child holding a tree declares, "Macbeth shall never be defeated until Birnam Wood comes to Dunsinane." To Macbeth, this sounds like immortality. After all, everyone is born of a woman, and forests don't march. Convinced he's untouchable, he decides to eliminate the only threat, Macduff. But when Macduff is away, Macbeth unleashes horror on his castle, slaughtering his wife and children in cold blood. When Macduff hears the news, his grief turns into a burning oath of vengeance. Together with Malcolm, Duncan's son, he begins raising an army to free Scotland from the tyrant. When Macduff hears the news, his grief turns into a burning oath of vengeance. Together with Malcolm, Duncan's son, he begins raising an army to free Scotland from the tyrant. Meanwhile, Lady Macbeth begins to collapse. The iron will that once pushed her husband forward now crumbles under the weight of guilt. At night, she sleepwalks, rubbing her hands over and over, crying, "Out, damn spot! Out, I say!" Desperate to wash away the blood only she can see. But the stain isn't on her hands, it's on her soul. Act 5. The Fall of Macbeth. The enemy army approaches Macbeth's castle at Dunsinane, but the soldiers cut down branches from Birnam Wood to disguise their numbers. From the castle walls, it looks like the forest itself is moving toward him. The witch's prophecy is coming true. Inside, Macbeth receives even more crushing news. Lady Macbeth is dead, likely by her own hand. His partner in ambition is gone, consumed by the same guilt that now gnaws at him too. Yet even in despair, Macbeth clings to one promise. No man born of a woman can kill me. With that, he throws himself into battle. Finally, Macduff confronts him. The fight is brutal, but then Macduff delivers the twist of fate. I was not born of a woman. I was delivered by cesarean section. In that instant, Macbeth realizes everything. The witch's riddles, his false confidence, the trap he walked into. His end was written the moment he listened to their whispers. Macduff strikes him down, beheading the tyrant. Scotland is free. Malcolm is crowned king. But the shadow of Macbeth's ambition lingers, a warning etched into history. Review and reflection. So what makes Macbeth unforgettable? It's more than the witches and murders. It's a mirror of human weakness. Ambition. Macbeth and Lady Macbeth want power so badly, they're willing to destroy everything, even themselves. Guilt. The murders never leave them. Their minds and souls collapse under the weight of their crimes. Fate versus free will. Did the witches control destiny, or did Macbeth choose his own path? That question still sparks debate today. And the imagery, unforgettable. Blood becomes the symbol of guilt. Sleep represents innocence and peace. Things Macbeth murders along with Duncan. And the witches remind us that evil doesn't always strike directly. Sometimes it just whispers, tempting us to do the work ourselves. That's why Macbeth has inspired countless plays, films, and adaptations. Because at its core, it's not just about a Scottish king. It's about us, about how ambition, unchecked, can turn dreams into nightmares. Final reflection. At the heart of Macbeth lies a chilling truth. Sometimes our greatest enemy isn't fate, or witches, or even other people. It's ourselves. Our own desires, our choices, our inability to stop once we've started down a dark path. Macbeth reached for the crown, and in doing so, lost everything. His honor, his peace, his wife, and finally his life. And maybe that's why, after more than 400 years, his story still terrifies and fascinates us. Because it shows how easy it is to fall, and how impossible it is to climb back once ambition has taken over.